Wood, glorious wood. It can be anything you want it to be.
Whoa. Wow, look at this.
Fantastic.
In this copse on the edge of the Welsh Valleys, a group of enthusiasts are competing to be named Best New Woodworker.
This is the quiet before the storm.
Let's get the game face on.
They will be tested with a big build challenge.
That's not right.
Uh-oh.
And an on-the-spot skills test.
I hate straight lines.
But
That joinery, it's incredible.
who will impress the judges?
It's fabulous. Stuck my fingers together.
Slightly gynecological.
Ooh, I'm having a moment.
Come on, I'm German. We walk on the field to win.
Woodworkers, lights, camera, action.
There's very much a terrified face going on.
Here we go.
Oh man, what's happened? It's a bit mad being here at week 6. Like, I feel like it's anyone's game at the moment.
Come on, boys and girls. Everything is starting to ache in my body, but I'm still here.
It's dawning on me how good everyone else is, so I've got to really step up my game.
It's a big confidence boost to walk in as Woodworker of the Week. I just hope I can carry on that standard. It's really quiet in here.
I know.
And Leo's been replaced by a saw.
Oh, that's so sad, but really funny.
Good morning, woodworkers.
Morning.
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 Morning. Come on, let's have a handmade horseshoe huddle. Woodworkers, well done. 6 weeks here, and we all look and feel like the furniture. Talking of which, our judging department, what have you got for this big build challenge, please?
This week, we would like you to make a luxurious 4-poster bed for a honeymoon suite.
We want you to ramp up the design creativity by a notch to create a 4-poster that screams opulence.
Oh, a honeymoon suite, hey, gang? Fit for Michael Bublé and the new Mrs. Bublé. I'll leave that with you. Woodworkers, 2 days on this big build challenge. Tools up, get woodworking.
Good luck.
You too.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
It's massive. My beds are massive.
For a place in the semi-final, the woodworkers face their biggest piece of furniture yet.
Lots to do, but I'm happy with the design. It's just going to be about executing it this week.
4-poster beds. I mean, they're enormous. Not only do our woodworkers have to create the bed, they have to create the posts and the canopy. This is about high-end excellence.
Ow, my knees. Oh.
No stopping, no breaks, otherwise I'm not going to get it finished.
I'm expecting them to step it up a gear. This bed needs to be fit for a luxury 5-star hotel. I don't want to see anything that's budget.
This is the quiet before the storm.
To deliver a lavish 4-poster bed, the woodworkers have pre-planned their designs. They must balance functionality with refinement by showing off robust yet stylish joinery and dazzling decoration of 5-star luxury.
They're so heavy.
Their biggest build yet means wrangling massive pieces of wood.
I need a tall person to lie down, really. Otherwise, it's going to be a bed for me.
For big bases and tall bedposts.
It'll be big. Has to be.
Known for his angles and complex engineering, Wolfgang's taking bed design into another dimension.
I'm a big Star Trek fan, so my design, hopefully, will look quite futuristic when it comes out.
For a sci-fi feel, Wolfgang's Starship bed base will be elevated by 2 sweeping bent posts, creating a canopy above, and attached to 2 angled uprights at the foot of the bed.
Wolfgang.
Good morning.
So, tell us about this 4-poster bed. What kind of hotel is it designed for?
For a science fiction hotel.
Oh, are you a Trekkie?
I'm a full-on Trekkie. We have the forward posts that go up at an angle. You know, angles again. You know, I love angles.
An angle. What are you most worried about? I mean, those angles look really complex.
They're not actually that complex.
Are you worried about it holding up?
You know, this will hold. 2 people with activity.
Thank you for activity.
Thanks, Wolfgang.
I'm really excited to see this. It's super complex again, though.
There's lots of interesting shapes and angles that he'll need to get right. He needs to make sure he measures everything precisely. There's just a lot that can go wrong.
The first job is to build a former and then laminate all these strips of plywood together.
Wolfgang's template will hold layers of glued wood strips to form sweeping curves.
It is large, yes, and these are too short. What am I gonna do? We have a serious problem.
Yeah, if I put letters on all of these, we can contact the dead.
It's not just Wolfgang laminating fancy shapes this week.
I've got 2 big bends to do.
I'm doing 5 big loops, like a cowboy wagon kind of thing. All my curves are going to be the exact same.
And I'm a little cheeky lie down.
That's that glued up.
Ooh. Nothing screams honeymoon bed more than 1,000 clamps and lots of glue. So I spent my honeymoon.
For her bed build, Caroline is moving away from her beloved natural branches.
It's all timbered wood, it's all straight, but I still wanted a bit of an interesting stick-like quality to it. So I'm using beautiful cedar to create a nest-like detail that goes around the curve of the bed.
Caroline's 2 side bends will attach to the bed base and be connected around the entire structure with crisscross strips to create an enclosed nest-like feel.
I love the fact you're giving us lamination for the first time, but it's huge.
I've never made anything so big. I've never done bent lamination, so this is a good time to try everything for the first time.
That, you're fine.
Yeah,
absolutely
it's all going
fine.
smooth.
How are you feeling about stability?
So because the whole side of the bed is curved, there's going to be 8 feet to give it more stability.
You're making extra legs, extra angles.
Confident?
Nope, now I've spoken to you. Sweaty hands.
I'm loving the look of Caroline's design. It's very in keeping with her whole woodland aesthetic, but this time she's bringing a more contemporary, refined look to it.
She's giving us a new skill this week, lamination, and she's doing it on such an enormous scale.
Oh, good God.
That's the thing I'm most worried about. Is it going to be stable?
I mean, that's a real concern.
I don't think there's enough clamps.
Claire's design also relies heavily
First of 5.
on laminated arches.
Yeah, so I need to find something else to do now. The competition is getting far more intense. Just got to get my head in the game a bit. Because right now it's a bit like, I've got to build a bed.
In a bid to balance her artistic flair with fine design, Claire's building a glamping-inspired bed. It'll appear to float above a hidden base and feature 5 arches, creating a tunnel.
So how will you get in? You'll only be able to get in at the bottom.
Yeah, like you have to crawl in to get up to it. I quite like that
It's
idea.
a little honeymoon game.
Never been in a luxury hotel or whatever, but I always go camping. And found, like, you know, the old cowboy wagons? That idea of kind of looking at the stars.
Lovely.
I'm planning to put gold leaf underneath it, so you're lying down, you'll be able to see them.
Looking up at the stars, the romance.
Yeah, that's the kind of idea I'm going for.
This is a much more potentially sophisticated design from Claire. Bent lamination with gold leaf underneath. It could look really beautiful.
Really? I'm really yearning for the Claire of old. You know, we saw her take on castles and BLTs and so on. That sort of fun has disappeared somehow.
My main concern is how you get in this bed. I mean, will it be comfortable?
It's not just the complexities of lamination that Claire must wrestle with.
My design is also a floating bed, so I need to make sure I have the box underneath it. It's not too big that you can see it, so a lot to do.
Stable bases are crucial for any honeymoon bed.
We've made to find tight joints.
This is an enormous build.
Okay, so this is too wide.
Nathaniel's aiming for simple lines for his base.
This will be the biggest thing I've ever made. This time I'm going to be managing my time, hopefully a lot better, so I definitely have the time to finish properly.
In a bid for the perfect finish, Nathaniel's streamlined design features a floating base leaving the joinery on show, and 4 towering posts with twisted, hand-turned finials.
My inspiration is Iceland, because I think it'd be really good to go there and see the northern lights.
Have you been there?
Not yet.
So
But
it's fantasy Iceland?
yeah.
Does your mum go to Iceland?
No.
So what's going to be sort of Icelandic about it, do you think?
I was considering potentially doing some burning on it, or going to do some blue staining on it. I'm debating whether to do it or not, because I've introduced quite a lot of colour in my previous builds, and I think it might be good to do some other stuff.
Will you be leaving yourself enough time to get the finish on this?
Yeah, I've learned from the previous builds, and I'm definitely going to leave a lot more time to be able to get that finish on.
What are your posts going to look like?
I'm thinking of doing eccentric turning. It gives you like this really cool effect that's like wobbling back and forth.
I like the idea of eccentric turning. Do you have to do it in a big scarf and a cape?
Nathaniel's back in his comfort zone. He's turning.
Perfect.
Nathaniel always ends on a scramble, trying to add that finish. This time he has promised he will not, so we will hold him to it.
This is the slightly tricky bit. This is the length that I really need. And because the pieces don't reach, I'm going to extend it by whatever distance is missing.
While Wolfgang fashions extensions,
It's a nightmare.
Jesus, that's big.
Caroline's creation is already big enough.
What a beast.
All I've seen so far is gigantic lamination. Like maybe me and Nathaniel missed that bit on the brief. Uh-oh.
Teacher Jen is the only woodworker yet to win a Big Build challenge.
I feel like I've seen up at the top on a few occasions. It's the business end of this now, so it's quite like a win. Early on in the competition, I was making silly mistakes, and I really cannot afford to do that this week because a bed is so big, I need all this material for it to work, for it to be stable.
Jen's aiming for a traditional bed with a flavour of home, featuring intricate wooden headboard to look like tartan and pared back thistle shapes befitting a Highland retreat.
Antlers on the wall.
Yeah, that vibe.
Shortbread on the table. Whoa.
Have you got anything you're worried about?
I think just getting the joints really clean because they're all reliant on each other to look like it's weaving through it.
You're creating tartan out of wood.
Yeah, we'll have an upholstered section as well.
So actual tartan as well.
Actual tartan too.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Jen is giving us loads of joinery in her bed. It's crisscrossing lines. She's making tartan out of wood. I mean, that's incredible.
That's all my parts cut, which is exciting. We'll go and see if they all match up.
It's a great design, which could be amazing.
Beautiful.
But there are risks in construction. It's a bit of a weak spot with her. There's potential there to go wrong.
With over a dozen joints all interconnected.
Not good.
If Jen has made even one wrong cut, assembly will be impossible.
The parts don't go together. I've cut this in the wrong side. This isn't fun. I've done it again. Oh my goodness. No, no. That was meant to be C. It's turned into like a mental challenge.
With her joints already cut and no spare timber,
A1, 815.
Jen's pieces don't fit as they should.
There's loads of cuts and measurements in this piece, and I knew it was always going to be a pain to have to line them all up. It made sense so well before.
What a silly design. Who comes up with something like this?
The woodworkers are 6 hours into crafting their 4-poster beds.
Caffeinated? Decaffeinated?
Gin.
And such a big build
Next job, next job, next job.
requires focus.
I'm just doing a dry fit. Looking pretty good for a first try.
Let's see what this little baby can do. I haven't got a fixed plan. I just always fly by the seats of my pants and my cat drawings.
Having already made mistakes measuring his laminated strips,
These are the bottom parts of the hind legs.
Wolfgang's to-do list is growing.
That's a nice glue joint.
His long, sweeping sci-fi shapes are becoming more like a kit of parts.
I'm behind on schedule. There's so many things to do, and they all have to be right. I'll probably start worrying about assembly tomorrow.
135, 135, 135 is D, not C.
Yeah, I reckon that'll be strong enough. Oh.
Feel like you'd find this bed in like a posh hotel. A definitely hotel I've probably never been to.
Claire's posh bed frame
People from Edinburgh, they're posh, aren't they?
will appear to float above the ground if she gets it right.
This is all going to be the box for underneath. You're not going to see it. That's the plan. This is the bit that makes it look floaty.
The main feature of her wagon bed, though,
Don't think that's gonna stick.
are her 5 laminated arches. And the second one has dried.
There's quite a bit of gapping in it. I'll clamp it and glue it. Fingers crossed that it all works.
Okay,
For Nathaniel,
great.
sticking to schedule means sticking his bed frame together.
If I get it all glued today, I'll be able to spend a lot more time on the finish, which is what I really, really want to be able to do. Okay, let's do some turning.
Turning wood on the lathe is Nathaniel's great love.
Oh, I'd stand further, I'd stand to the side.
For his show-stopping finials, eccentric turning. With the wood mounted on an angle, it's dangerous.
Normally this is done on a much, much smaller scale, rather than something that's this big.
And time-consuming.
It's taken a bit longer than I would have wanted it to, but it's working.
It looks like it's dry now.
Caroline's clamps are coming off her second side bend.
I'm gonna need step ladders for this. They look a lot bigger than they did in the small sketch that I did. They're huge, so I'm hoping that I can pull off big and beautiful, but also very stable because it can't be wobbling.
To get that stability,
I'm not as fast as I'd like to be.
Caroline's working with conventional machines and wood.
That's better. It's lush. I usually work with wobbly trees, yeah. So this is quite a new way of working for me. So I'd like to get these mortise and tenon joints together so I can get the frame up. It's advanced sticks and holes.
Why is this not lining up?
After trying every feasible combination,
Oh, I've made a complete numpty.
a tartan turnaround for Jen.
If I switch this one round, it solves everything.
Oh.
Because now that one works. That's embarrassing. Back to plan A.
It's a delay she could have done without.
I'm so relieved that that worked out.
Hey, Nathaniel.
Hi, Mel.
This looks really, really brilliant.
Thanks.
Are you pleased?
Yeah, I think it looks nice.
That's got quite a shape to it, hasn't it?
Mmm,
Wow.
thanks.
Yeah. Oh, no.
They're around halfway through their 4-poster builds.
I'm still making pieces.
I've still got quite a long way to go with this build. Should probably just stuck to what I knew.
Claire's on the third of 5 arches.
Because of the way the lamination's gone, they're all kind of different shapes. Hopefully when I pull them in, they'll kind of all go up to the same height. That's what I'm hoping. Maybe I've bitten off a bit more than I can chew.
And with mistakes mounting,
Yeah.
Wolfgang struggling. But as usual, there's a lifeline.
I have not won immunity so far. I reckon my chances are 0.
OK, woodworkers, join me, my friends, as we go outside to do a skills challenge. It's going to be great fun.
Into the unknown.
Out we go. If I was Jean Kelly, I would do a little dance.
Oh, there's no power tools.
Chisel.
Oh, I'm gonna cut my hands.
Plaster's on standby.
Judges, please tell the woodworkers what you've got in store for them.
We'd like you to make us an Indian printing block to test a core woodworking skill, relief carving.
You must carve away wood, leaving enough material for the ink to register to create an effective repeat pattern.
Relief carving? Sounds like stressful carving to me. Best of luck, everybody. Tools up, get woodworking.
Oh, God. Not this.
Not very good at carving.
It's not something I've ever done before.
Carved blocks of wood have been used for fabric printing in India for centuries, meaning images can be easily repeated. But with just 2 hours, design choice is key.
I'm making an elephant, a very iconic animal of India.
We're doing a fruit bowl.
I think I'm gonna go with cats, because you can't go wrong with cats, can you?
The judges want to see a clear design that repeats easily.
I'm doing the luckiest monster, because I love him. Or her.
So I'm going to do a tool wall, like a spirit level, a saw, ruler.
I don't really like cats. I'm more of a dog person.
Then you may leave.
Sorry.
This challenge is about working out which bits to carve away and which bits to leave.
I mean, I've already made a huge mistake here, so that's gonna look ugly.
You want to have a flat surface to print from, so you need to leave those pieces untouched.
Seems like an easy thing to get wrong, because obviously when you take away material, you can't put it back on.
Oh,
I'm just trying really hard not to puncture my hand, which I end up doing when I'm carving.
For a clean print, the background must be carved away to create a deep step.
So long as it's just lower than the printing area. I don't have to go crazy deep.
I've been to Loch Ness a few times. Never seen a whisper.
I know.
So how many arches does Nessie have normally?
Depends on how much space you've got, to be honest.
This wood is so soft to carve. It's like carving butter.
OK, woodworkers, you are halfway through your carvery. Oh, makes me hungry.
With the background bulk removed, they must work on finer detail.
I'm about to sour the grapes. This is where it gets serious.
One thing I do know is if I rush this, I'm gonna mess it up.
That is a ruddy elephant.
Maybe by sheer accident, I'm actually quite good at this. Maybe.
I think it should print okay.
Once their blocks are carved,
Right.
It didn't work at all.
they must attempt a crisp print.
I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
Not enough paint. Right.
Third time lucky. Oh, we're getting there.
So I'm thinking upside down, right way up, upside down, right way up.
OK, woodworkers, put down your printing rollers, please. This challenge is well and truly over.
I don't think it's going to get much better than that.
Remember, whoever wins this skills challenge will get immunité from élimination, which is a very grand prix, mes amis.
I really like my print, but maybe it's just my taste.
I've tried my best. We'll just have to wait and see what the judges say.
Our 5 woodworkers have each carved an intricate Indian printing block and created a repeat pattern. The winner will gain immunity for a place in the semi-final.
Caroline, please bring up your print and your block.
The spacing between each of the cats is brilliant.
Exactly.
Works really well.
You get that sense of repetition, which is mesmerising.
Yeah, you've worked really well to get precision, especially in some of the difficult areas, such as around the tail and the eyes.
But the eyes are quite something else, aren't they? That you can see the eyes on every single one.
Perfect.
But... can definitely see where you got your inspiration from.
One thing that lends itself really well to your design is that it's quite linear, so you're able to get those really precise linear cuts.
You know, maybe the saw could have done with a bit more definition.
You want the teeth.
Yeah, you need that, the saw teeth, yeah. I mean, I think it's really good. You've considered it as a repetitive pattern. So it's got a real sense, I think, of presence and space.
It really does work as a repetitive pattern,
Yeah.
especially with those circles and the way they meet up.
It's the elephant in the room.
Yes.
It's a positive elephant in the room.
One thing that is difficult is to differentiate each of the fruits between themselves, so you could have focused on each of the individual fruit.
Yeah, a banana, an apple and a pear.
That's a bleak fruit bowl. Claire, would you like to bring up your print and your block, please?
It's the Loch Ness Monster.
It's a Loch Ness Monster.
What is great is that you can't see any of the background on the print, so you've taken enough away to get that solid print.
I think what's really clever is how you've cut out the water, because it really gives that sense of movement. You can see the kind of ripples. Really clever.
Claire, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Claire.
Cheers.
5 carved Indian printing blocks, but only one will get the judge's stamp of approval.
For their witty design, effective repetition, and precise and intricate carving, the winner is... Caroline.
Well done, Caroline.
That went well. That went well. I really enjoyed that skills challenge, and I won it.
Caroline, you're through to the semi-final. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am a wee bit worried about what will happen tomorrow. This is the first time I've ever built anything of this scale. I've still to win something.
Ha! Have I got it in me? I'll try, but as this is new ground, anything can happen.
What's first on your list?
I have a cry. I have so much to do today. Last day in the workshop, I am feeling a wee bit stressed. I'm hoping by the end of the day, it'll look really strong and really striking.
I'm definitely feeling the pressures today. I've got to turn the 3 more spindles for the top. I've got to sand everything. There's just a massive list of stuff to do.
At the end of today, the judges will decide who gets 5 stars and who needs a lie down.
It's already the biggest thing I've made, and I've not even assembled it yet. Right.
You need to just go fast all day.
I'm a bit behind my own schedule. If you look at my bed right now, it's all in bits and pieces all over the place.
The kit of parts for Wolfgang's sweeping sci-fi bedposts are dry and prepped.
These 2 babies here are an essential component of my bed. They're more or less in shape now.
He must now attempt to join them seamlessly.
Too long. But that's a good thing, because we can always cut it off.
First Officer Wolfgang, are we on planet Yay? Or are we on planet?
In between the 2 of them. Yeah. That's one of the pointy things, yeah.
Look at this. It's like a big windscreen wiper, isn't it?
Yes.
That is very, very good. Keep going and work on that, please.
Yeah, there we go.
You're a deep disappointment to me.
Yeah, I'm just hopeless, I know.
The glue-ups need to go together.
Nathaniel may be gluing up his base,
Okay, that'll do, I think.
but like most teenagers, making his bed isn't easy.
Okay. That was fun.
I'm really hoping that I'm going to have enough time today to get my finish the standard I really want.
So that's 2 done.
Nathaniel wanted to impress us with his turning, and what he's done does look amazing so far, but I'm worried it has slowed down the rest of his build.
Usually these are taking me like 50 minutes, so I'm going to have to really speed up if I want to be able to get them done. On to the third.
It's better than the first one.
The lamination on Claire's wagon bed arches
This is number 5. That's the best one yet.
has got progressively better.
5th time's the charm. They're a wee bit irregular. I want to get them absolutely precise.
While Claire tries to unify her arches,
Yeah, they're coming up nice. It's just a lot to sand. Still not right.
Jen's starting her thistle decoration.
They've got little like spheres in them. My hands are exhausted. I'm gonna be here a while. There we go, so that's the right size. That side's still a bit fat.
Jen, I'm not going to lie, these look slightly gynecological.
Lots of sanding.
That's good.
It's around halfway through the final day.
It's the straightest cut I think I've ever made, ever.
Caroline's focusing on sturdy joints to bring her bed frame together.
Sticks fit in the holes. Isn't that amazing? Oh!
Ooh,
But Wolfgang
old man.
still has many disparate parts.
I'm gonna prepare this front brace here, and I'll make some extension pieces, and then we will start assembling the main frame.
Wolfgang is working so last minute in this one. We're at the final stages, and it's still not together.
No, he's left it so late.
There's so much he's got to do.
At this point, I'm not gonna try and do any fancy footwork. It'll have to make do as is.
Wolfgang has really pushed himself with this build in terms of joinery and design, but is it too complex?
Are we even going to see a bed completed from Wolfgang?
The main frame is dead simple. What comes after that is tricky. Okay.
There's no strength left in my arms.
It's looking really good.
Oh, it's gonna go there. It's getting there.
For her wagon bed to float, Claire must build a hidden base.
So rather than having legs, this is the bit that makes it look floaty. But hopefully this will look sleek.
So Claire's base is coming together.
Yeah!
It's looking quite high off the ground.
It's looking less like a floating base, more like a pedestal. We can definitely see it, can't we?
So I'm just working out whereabouts these bends are going to go.
I'm still not sure that Claire has really thought about the function of her bed, how you'll get in and out of it. Will there be enough headspace when you're sitting under those arches?
Cool.
She's somebody that does deliver at the last minute, so fingers crossed.
The legs are on.
The bedposts
It looks good.
are on the up.
Glue it, clamp it, pilot hole, screw, and then put dowels to hide the screw. Oh, why is this not working?
If I don't do this very well, it won't be very strong.
It's the moment of truth for Jen's wooden tartan.
Whew, yeah. Thank goodness. Awesome. Good progress.
We're about to start final assembly.
Wolfgang's angled post measurements
That is unexpected. Ah. Right.
aren't adding up.
I'm making adjustments to the shortcomings of my drawing. Shouldn't be that way, but it is.
I'm very short for time. There's a lot of stuff I need to do.
Nathaniel,
Hi, Tom. How are you doing?
and where are we at with the old decoration?
I've moved away from the colouring idea. I did consider scorching, but I don't think it's going to happen in the time.
Oh, God, this is so stressful.
Caroline's also tight for time, adding slats for her nest-like canopy.
I wanted to cross these bars over, but of course that angle down there is different to this angle up here. This is going to be done by eye.
Perfect.
While Claire's cutting back.
Now, Claire, is it going to be almost like a planetarium with the stars above you?
Well, that's the kind of hope with the gold leaf. But I think the gold leaf is cutting back, not to all of the hoops, because I just don't have time.
Claire, there's got to be some gold.
Oh,
though.
there will be. There'll be some above where you sleep.
So there will be an element.
Yeah, for
of
sure.
Sleeping under the stars.
Definitely.
I've slept under a few stars. Luckily, the paper's never got hold of it. Woodworkers, you have 1 hour left.
1
hour left until we all jump into your beds and have a lovely nap.
What a nightmare.
I have too much to do.
I've still got a headboard to go on, so I need to sort that out.
Oh, a bit of finicking going on.
Well, I started doing the slats and then realised I hadn't attached the legs.
Ideally, I need to put a finish on, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do that at the moment.
Yeah, I've never had to upholster this fast before. So sweaty.
I'm just going to shove it on and hope for the best. That's my technique.
Blending this in. Oh, it's dead.
This is insane.
This is the final piece of assembly. After that, we're probably screwed.
Oh, I'm getting Harry Potter vibes from this bed. I'm imagining Professor McGonagall bedding down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm running out of time.
It's all holding together, so we're pretty happy here.
I sincerely apologise to all the upholsterers out there.
Wipe it on and then wipe it off.
Time to panic oil.
Oh my God, there's so much.
Woodworkers, that is it. The Big Build Bed Challenge is over. You have made your beds. It is now time to lie in them.
Oh, thank God that's over.
I'm genuinely really chuffed with it. It looks like tartan in wood.
I would be silly to say that I wasn't worried. I think I'm a wee bit worried about going home.
I'm not really looking forward to judging right now. I just need a break, please.
After 2 days and 2 sleepless nights, our woodworkers have crafted 5 luxury 4-poster beds. Now it's down to the judges to decide who deserves a place in the semi-final and who's nodding off. Jen's built a traditional homage to the Highlands. She's delivered her wooden take on a floating tartan headboard, oak frame, and posts topped with understated turned thistles.
Hey, Jen.
Hi.
Jen,
Well, you have realised your vision completely.
what an incredible feat to make tartan out of wood. You've got incredibly neat lap joints on your headboard. You've got the turning. You've done a brilliant job.
Thank you.
I love the asymmetry of it. I love all the intersecting stripes. I love the little cheeky references to thistles. I think that's fantastic. One tiny thing, this little
Yeah.
structure.
In hindsight, that probably needed something there.
You'd want to be careful with the handcuffs on that. It's a honeymoon, gang. People get up to all sorts. Go on, Soph.
Oh, OK, it's... Oh, really? Ooh.
It looks very spacious. It's
Yeah.
spacious. Room for 2.
What are you suggesting?
Immune from elimination, Caroline's boutique bird's nest is formed from 2 giant hoops, rooted to the floor with 8 angled legs and knitted together with crisscross slats.
Week on week, you are so ambitious, you give it your all, and it's fabulous. The drama of those 2 curves is absolutely stunning. I mean, it would hold court anywhere, wouldn't it?
It's got such presence in the workshop.
I can imagine a very smart couple in Copenhagen honeymooning in this bed.
Yeah.
It's unfinished. You haven't got as many slats as we were hoping for. It would have been way more luxurious to be fully enclosed.
Yeah.
I think the base is really wonderful. You know, a proper, solid base.
Shall I get in with the couple from Copenhagen?
They'd love that.
They do, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. It's a bit tight in here with Sven and Maria, but, you know, we'll get used to it. In a lovely way, it's like being a little hamster on a wheel.
Boldly going where no 4-poster has gone before, Wolfgang's 2 sweeping curved posts bend into a canopy, intricately attaching to 2 further angled posts.
I mean, you set yourself a big task with this one, I think.
Yeah, you always have such high ambitions. I mean, this laminated sweeping curve could have used more refinement. So this joint that you've got in the middle here, there's gaps, there's screws, there's glue. What happened?
My ambition ran away with me.
I can imagine this definitely in a kind of themed bedroom. I'm not quite sure about honeymoon suite.
It's not quite getting that luxury or opulence.
Exactly.
Wolfgang, you boldly went where no man had gone before. Oh, my God, he's got it. He's got it.
He has got it.
Claire's wheeled into town a cowboy wagon-style bed for glamping, attempting a floating base, uniform 5-arched canopy with some gold leaf decoration.
What a super cosy bed.
It's like you want to climb inside it.
It does look so inviting, right off with the shoes.
Does it feel like you're in a rack of beef?
Lovely. And you do get a real sense of, you know, enclosure, which is cosy. But, I'm sorry, I worry about going to the loo in the middle of the night when I'm a little bit tiddly on pom-pom. Yeah, there's only one way in, one way out.
But what a feat laminating these 5 arches. A few gaps in places, but you've managed to keep the shapes consistent.
Although those shapes are a little bit asymmetric.
And the way that you've attached the arches to the bed frame, you have used screws, but you've plugged them, and it's so neat. It does look good. I know you wanted to give your bed a floating effect, and you can see the base quite visibly, which is such a shame.
Yeah, it feels a bit more like it's on a pedestal. I mean, we asked for a kind of opulence, and the gilding's not 100% there.
Oh, I just ran out of time. Like, this was really tough.
Thank you, Claire.
Finally, Nathaniel's floating 4-poster has exposed joinery as the main decoration below, leaving 4 twisted finials to shine above. Plus, he managed to save some time for a white wax finish.
What a bed!
Thanks.
It's got real presence, real kind of monumentality. It's a heroic bed.
You brought us such impressive turning for the tops of your posts as well, that offset eccentric turning. It looks brilliant and it works really well.
Thank you.
You wanted to get a kind of Icelandic kind of feel about it. I'm not particularly getting that. You've got the joints coming all the way through. I mean, it feels very Japanese to me. But I think it'd be great to see scorching. It would have taken up to another level, I think.
I know you wanted to give the effect of your bed floating as well, and you can't see the base. This is definitely a floating bed.
I'm going to go for the Starsky and Hutch roll. Oh, hello, sailor. Yes. Oh. Judges, who is lying in a bed of roses and who's lying on a bed of nails?
Well, got to talk about Jen. You know, she's great on a design concept. She has it in her head. But this time, she really delivered.
She was able to give us tartan out of wood. I mean, how many times have you seen that?
So she's up top. Who's with her?
I mean, Nathaniel's bed was pretty outstanding. That eccentric turning that he gave us on top of those posts was something out of this world. It was brilliant.
Whose bed's a little bit more difficult to sleep in?
I mean, Wolfgang had a shocking week this week. I mean, what a fall from grace.
And that's a real shame. You know, he's got such high ambitions. I just think he needs to rein those ambitions in just a tad.
So who else is joining Wolfgang down there?
Claire's bed, although it was kind of cute, it just didn't have that sense of occasion.
It just wasn't 5-star honeymoon suite.
Obviously, we go now into the semi-final.
And it's a real heart-wrench to let anyone go at this moment.
Good luck, guys.
We just don't want it to stop, do we? Because it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's such
it
an
is.
experience.
You try and squeeze in as much as you can to impress the judges. This time, I couldn't quite carry it off.
That was a tough 2 days. I don't want to go home yet. But, oh, I feel so silly for crying. But I think I might be going home.
A long walk, isn't it?
Feels like it's getting longer.
Waiting for the hammer to fall.
Good luck, guys.
Woodworkers, I once put together a flat pack double bed with my sister-in-law, and it took the best part of a week. You have created beautiful 4-poster beds that could grace the bed department at Harrods. One of these beds is worthy of Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, and they spent a lot of time in bed. I'm delighted to say that our Woodworker of the Week is... Jen. Well done. Thank you.
a long way coming.
Thank you. Caroline, you won the skills challenge. You go straight into the semi-final. Somebody else, I'm afraid, has had a turn-down service from the judges. The person who will not be joining us for next week's semi-final is Claire.
I'm proud of what I did. I feel so happy that I got to do this. I just had the best time. But the problem is now I've got a taste for expensive tools.
Congrats. I want a challenge.
Wooden tartan, brilliant.
I had to wait, but I got it eventually, right?
How the hell am I going to survive the next one? I'm very relieved. The fierceness of competition that is now going on. I mean, this is just wild.
Next time,
This is so hard.
it's hanging chairs.
I'm getting Chamber of Horrors.
I don't like it.
You don't sound like you have a solid plan for this.
It's so solid to me.
But who will float through to the final?
Are you a swinger, Caroline, or a swayer?
I'm more of a swayer.
And whose place hangs in the balance?
If you have to go out, you go out with a bang.
The woodworker who will not be joining us for next week's final is